Your cell phone. We need to talk about something. Something serious. I know you love me. I know you like using me wherever you are, but I feel like this isn't working out when you're driving. I know you may think that it's possible to focus both on me and the road, but I just don't feel the same way. I think we should spend time away from each other when you're driving. It's for the best.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
As an 18-year-old, I let my mistakes kind of take over my life. I was 0.5 credits away from completing high school, and I didn't do it.
10 years later, at age 28, Jackie finished her high school diploma.
When I found out that I was pregnant, I know that I had to do something for myself if I wanted to make her a better person and provide a better life for her. My family never stopped pushing for me to be better because they knew what I could become and who I could become as a person. My support team is amazing. The educational director, my sister, and even my 7-year-old daughter has just been more than the support that I could ask for. I've been given an opportunity, and I'm just thankful for it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today. We'll see decreasing clouds throughout the day, but it will be breezy. We'll see a high around 32. Tonight, a chance of 4 rays, otherwise partly cloudy with light winds, and a low near 22. And tomorrow, we'll see mainly sunny skies with light winds and a high around 36. And meteorologist Kyle Bucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Okay, kids, Dad's gonna teach you how to dance. First, spread your feet apart. Then, pump your knee, nod your head, shake your hips, and bite your lip ever so slightly. Now, with one hand in the air, point at people with the other hand. I call that the rock star.
Dance like a dad. It's a great way to make a moment with your kids.
Now, make a face like it just smells something bad.
Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Wrestling fans, it's time to elevate your game, just like Stevens & Smith Construction does for your concrete needs. As your full-service concrete contractor, we deliver solid results every time. From singles to doubles, fighting for inside position to scrambling reversals, we know how to pin down quality and slam expectations. Stevens & Smith Construction, a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket, where Husker wrestlers bring you all the action. Don't stall. Stevens & Smith Construction is here to help you build a concrete foundation for the win. Check us out at www.stevensandsmith.com because stalling is a penalty and winning is the only option.
League One Volleyball is bringing the action to Omaha with Omaha's first serve on January 24th at 7 p.m. Central Time at the Liberty First Credit Union Arena. Witness history in the making as Love Omaha Volleyball takes on Love Madison in the team's inaugural home match. Be there to watch Olympic teammates Jordan Larson and Lauren Carlini go head-to-head in a battle of the world's best. Visit LOVBOMA.com for tickets starting at $31. Volleyball is the next major league.
This is the Don't Punt Hour with former Nebraska receiver.
Throwing over the middle, completes the pass. He's got speed to the end zone. Touchdown! 45 yards.
And return specialist.
This time he beats the kicker and one more.
Demorne Pierson-El.
Only does the sideline have confidence in Pierson-El, but Pierson-El has confidence in Pierson-El.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program.
All right, welcome into Dump Punch Hour. Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. As always, come Ticket Weeknights. You guys are welcome to join in. 402-464-5685. That is the Starter Heyman text line. Facebook, YouTube, X, Allo, Channel 961. All great ways to put a face to the voice and the Allo VIP graphic, because we do got Demorne Pierson-El on the Allo VIP line, where they understand the importance of exceptional service with a local heart. So again, I want to shout out Allo for giving us secure connections. Would be a terrible show if we had unsecure connections. So shout out those guys. And of course, Teammates Mentoring. Sign up to be a teammate today. Those guys do a lot of great work around the community. Demorne Pierson-El, how's it going on this New Year's Eve?
You know, it's going good, other than it being cold, but, you know, you take what you can get.
Yeah, I'm not even going to complain about the cold. It's not February yet, and that's when it really hits. February, I'll have different tone. But yeah, happy New Year's Eve to everybody. Be safe out there, as I kind of said in the last hour. But this is one of those nights where people are going to be drunk past midnight. So if you're one of those, get an Uber home or walk home. But just be sure to enjoy yourself, but do it responsibly. DPE, got any fun New Year's Eve plans before we dive into the first game I want to talk about, which is the Fiesta Bowl that's going on right now? But you got anything planned for tonight?
Nothing too crazy. You know, I might pop out here and there, but nothing wild or anything like that. I try and be back in the house before 12, honestly.
I kind of feel lame. I'm like 25, and I'm like, I don't know how much I want.
New Year's makes me nervous. That's the one holiday I get nervous about, honestly.
Yeah, well, to me, it's like I'm sitting here. I'm like, man, do I want to wake up and be hungover for an awesome day of college football, or do I want to be like fully in spirit and full health and just ready to have an awesome day? I'm like kind of in that mindset. It'll be a gut check call. We'll find out.
You got to get you a liquid IV or a Pedialyte packet before you start.
Yeah, that stuff. You know, good for those guys for being responsible. For me, it's like if you're gonna do it, you're just gonna do it. You're gonna go all in. All right, that's enough on that. We're not gonna talk about my alcohol consumption here. Fiesta Bowl. I do see the score 7-0. I don't have it in front of me, but who do you got in that game? I know it's already kind of a easy guess right now, but you do got Penn State. Yeah.
Penn State. I mean, even if they start slow, I mean, they're kind of, you know, once they get in their groove and everything like that, they can be, you know, a hard team to stop.
Yeah. The spread was 12.5. Does that feel about right to you?
No, I think it'll be more than that.
I think so too. I haven't been able to watch, but for me, the whole game's going to come down to if they stop Genty, it's over.
It's one-sided. Boise has been, you know, getting a few plays, but that Penn State defensive line has definitely come to play. And I mean, I think this is Penn State's second drive, if I'm not mistaken. So I mean, it's still early on, and yeah, it can get real ugly real quick.
That was kind of the fear. It feels like I was kind of saying that in the last hour. Like that's the worst possible pull for Boise State. Like they'd probably rather play. Honestly, you think you'd rather play Oregon or even
them
having the fourth best run defense is
Oregon,
what is alarming.
Oregon didn't really have things figured out the way that they do now. So if they played Oregon, it would be a bust. Penn State just scored again, 14-0.
It sounds like a buzzsaw either way. So I don't know if it's going to matter, but it's 14-0 in the first quarter. By the way, still 2 minutes left. For me, it's just like, man, I would not want to play the team whose bread and butter is stopping the run. Like that's the most impressive part outside of their tight end for Penn State is how good that defensive line is, fourth in the nation. If they stop Genty, that's Boise State doesn't have any other options. Like I mean,
everybody's been focused, you know, on him. So I don't think too many people have been paying attention to everybody else. I mean, of course, you know, they have athletes and whatnot, and athletes have to make plays, but I don't think it would be anything, you know, significantly to overrule or, you know, where they can hang their hat on of something.
Yeah, either way, I do think as we got Pluto chiming in next, yes, it is 14-0 Penn State. It's not going to matter. I got Penn State in this one too. I thought 12.5 was actually consider it. I could see it of maybe being a close game if they were able to run the ball, but if they're not, like that's it.
They did what they did against Oregon, and it's like, okay, well, you know, stacked up, and you're giving them the benefit of the doubt. But late in the season, and what Penn State has kind of been on, how they've been, you know, late in the season, just been on fire. Other than, you know, playing Ohio State, it really doesn't matter. They've been in all situations. So I think they were just favoring, you know, Boise, thinking it would be a lot closer or a lot better game. But like I said, I mean, it can get ugly real quick.
Yeah, and I think, you know, you got the Heisman runner-up in Genty. Maybe people added too much value in that. It's not like he doesn't deserve that, but it's hard.
-2 yards right now. It's not looking good.
It's not good when your runner-up Heisman's -2 yards, and I can guarantee you it's not his fault. Like they're probably just not able to block against that. It's a fantastic defensive line, and that's why I was kind of saying earlier, like that's a brutal draw for a team who really only thrives off of running the ball is to go against one of the best teams.
You would have rather went through Clemson or SMU or ASU. Those would have been a little bit. I feel like more. Well, if they would have called SMU in a hot climate, I think that would have been different. But still. Yeah,
and that's a good point as well. That was kind of like when you saw SMU have to play in Penn State, like they weren't ready for it. That's just not even like the weather elements in that game. I think it was actually a pretty nice day. It's just that stadium in a playoff atmosphere when the Penn State's been begging to finally get into one. You just kind of, and they have been blowing teams out of the water outside of Ohio State. I mean, I think you go back to their last 5 games, they're winning it by 20 plus points just about every single time. So they have been on a run. Yeah, that's right. Let's talk about Michigan though. A Michigan team. SEC is not looking good.
Everybody was screaming SEC this, SEC that, and it hasn't been.
It's been doo-doo for the SEC. It's been bad.
Say that again?
It's been doo-doo, poop. The SEC has looked like crap.
You got, really, your top 2, maybe 3 teams. I think the Cold definitely did do something to Tennessee, but they were a very competitive team. Georgia has been what they are, and Texas has been what they are. I mean, you can say whatever they want. I think Alabama losing today kind of quieted all of their hype and all of their favors that they're going to get moving forward with stuff.
Well, that was like the last plank you could have possibly stood on, and with a loss to a 5-loss Michigan team. You give credit to Michigan. They've been playing good ball down the stretch. We kind of talked about yesterday. Sharon Moore, tip my cap. Hell of a run to end the year to knock off Ohio State and Alabama. Everyone's thinking a little bit differently about Sharon Moore.
My question was Michigan really cheating last year, or do they just have Alabama's number?
That's a good question. They might just have. Well, they were certainly cheating. I don't know how much it would have mattered versus Alabama. It is kind of one of those situations, though, where they just kind of seem to have their number.
It's a less talented team.
Michigan had zero offense all year.
Honestly, the game could have been worse. Milroe turned the ball over early on in their own territory, and they didn't really capitalize on getting touchdowns. I mean, they got field goals, but I think Kellen down there, he might have his hands full, because I know a lot of people in the state of Alabama are pissed.
Oh, yeah. If you're Kalen DeBoer, I don't want to be you right now. I'd take a paycheck, but there's no way I'd want to deal with the social media. Like, he's going to get
quick update. Genty just fumbled at midfield. Penn State driving in.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah,
so he's got negative yards and a fumble on the day.
I mean, he got positive yards, but he on his 3rd carry. So,
yeah, that spells doom for Penn State there, or excuse me, for Boise State. Yeah, they're just. This is a good first game, though. I will say, let's get this one done.
It's fumbled. It's a game of momentum. It's back and forth.
Wait, Penn State just fumbled?
Yes, quarterback. It went bad.
Oh, you gotta love it. That is the beauty of college sports.
You love it when it doesn't happen to your team.
Yeah. I guess for this one, I'm rooting for Penn State just because they're Big Ten. Boise State, it'd be fun to see, but I just don't know. It'd be fun if Genty has a hell of a game. Maybe it is one of those turnover, just ugly, where you get to the final minute and you don't even know how the hell you won. But it's certainly heading that way. Speaking of more Big Ten teams, though, did you catch the Brett Bielema and Beamer standoff at the Cheez-It Citrus Bowl?
I did not.
It got heated. Shane Bieber's he's kind of always been a little bit of a hothead. Definitely gets fired up on the sidelines. I actually like Brett Bielema a lot, and it was funny to see. He basically, an Illinois player was hurt over by the South Carolina sideline. Brett Bielema goes over, to check on the player as you normally would. But after he's done, he does like some kind of taunt. I didn't really fully get what the taunt was. It was some substitution taunt towards Shane Beamer. Beamer caught it. He was belligerent, was kind of pointing, yelling, everybody had to hold him back. And Brett Bielema was just on the other sideline smirking and laughing at the ability he had to piss off Beamer as much as he did. I couldn't tell you why the head coach of South Carolina got so upset, but it was interesting. And of course, South Carolina ended up losing that game as well. So Brett Bielema really won it. But if you didn't catch that, that's fine. I encourage everybody to go look at it. It was a hilarious interaction.
I seen it, but I didn't necessarily catch what happened. Maybe throwing them off, getting them out of the game. I guess is what you can say. It's been weird, but I mean, the Big Ten schools are on top of these SEC schools, so it's kind of funny to see how things are going, how things will turn out.
Yeah, and I'll say this much too. I don't know if Brett Bielema was that even taunting, which would make it funnier, because he did a substitute, and the guy got hurt. Obviously, he's not going to play. And to me, it kind of looks like he was looking over at the refs, and he did the substitution signal. Obviously, he's going to sub a player in. And I don't know if it was intentional, like make Beamer mad, or if Beamer just saw it and thought, this is all about me. Like, I don't know what happened. But based off of Brett Bielema kind of just laughing about, I don't know how intentional it was. Maybe it was entirely intentional.
Probably not. I think their coach is an intentional guy. I don't think that was something that, I'm going to try. It's not the, methodical thinking of landing and with the 12 minutes. It's not that type of situation. So
we do got Pluto off X. He must have been watching the game. He said Bielema did a really slow substitution when South Carolina was getting ready to score. It was totally intentional. Okay, Brett. I kind of like it. That's funny. So there you go. According to Pluto on, because I didn't watch the game live. I just saw the snippet off X, and I was trying to piece it together.
Yeah, no, I haven't. I've seen the notification come through, but I didn't actually see what all happened. So I'll definitely dive in and look into that.
Yeah, it's it was just another kind of interesting game. Because not only you got another SEC team losing to another Big Ten team, Illinois has been, I don't know what Illinois is. Like looking at next year, trying to see what Illinois and Brett Bielema have. Like they're kind of Nebraska where they get off on really good starts. They hit that mid-season slump, but then they typically end up finishing the year really well. What do you see in Brett Bielema and Illinois? Like next year, what are the real expectations for those guys?
Depending on their schedule and whatnot, but I guess you could say, I mean, they were right on the cusp of being, a strong. I mean, they had the hype coming in early, especially, after, beating us and everything like that, of being, a stronger team in the Big Ten. And then they got, like, as you said, they lost it in the middle. So again, it's just probably sustaining that longer throughout the season, or, not having that drop off the way that they did. Because I think they lost some games that they shouldn't have lost. And I don't know if that's due to just people were banged up, people were tired, or mid-season slumps, or just out-coached or whatever. But the goal for them is to not have that fall off happen as much, and they kind of ride the wave to a way of how Indiana has. How they kind of stayed consistent, and I know they lost to Ohio State and everything like that, but week in and week out, they were building and being successful. So I guess that would be, the goal of having no like let-offs or anything like that.
Yeah, I think that's really the only thing that's left for them. They're getting better every year. I will say, like, they do finish this year ranked. They also finish off beating a very good team in South Carolina.
Yeah.
It is that program is getting better and better. I just don't know when it's going to break through, if it ever will fully break through, or if it's just kind of going to be this somewhat of a purgatory that, a lot of fans kind of suffer. I feel like that's, the reason all head coaches get fired is eventually that purgatory lasts too long. But he does feel like he's on a breakthrough year here coming around the corner. I like what he's been doing over at Illinois. I've been pretty high on him over there. And I thought this year might have been the year, especially after they beat us. I also thought we were a lot better than we were. And I think I also probably thought Luke Altmaier was a legitimate, Heisman candidate at the time, the way he looked against us. They came back down to earth, but they still found a way to turn the season around and finish on a strong note. Any notes just from the Big Ten as a whole that really shocked you about this year in particular, whether it's the new schools heading in or maybe some of the schools that have been here always?
I mean, the rule said it that, 4 teams would get in from our league or whatnot. But, I mean, I not even just, it's in the playoffs. I think the Big Ten shown as a whole the strength of what they've been able to do and put people on notice regardless of whatever, regardless of if it's cold, if it's hot, if it's rainy. And I understand, SEC is the big dog or whatnot, but I mean, it just shows you no matter who it is or whatnot, week in and week out, if you have the right kids in the right place, if you have the right coaches in the right place, it doesn't matter who who you're playing against. You have to show up and make sure that your kids are ready. And these Big Ten teams have been doing, a good job of that holistically through the season, whether that's, the teams in the playoffs, teams in the conference championships, or et cetera.
Yeah, I mean, we'll throw another Big Ten team, USC. They won their game. It was a closer one, 35-31. They won that one over Texas A&M. But I'm kind of with you. Like, if I had any notes on the Big Ten this year, I'd just put a stamp on it. Just well done. Like, it's been a great year.
It's been a strong year.
Yeah. Like, the SEC, it feels like this is the year the Big Ten broke through the bias. Because the SEC, they only play 8 conference games, and they still found a way to cannibalize themselves more so than the Big Ten teams who play 9 conference games. So you're Alabama, and you still get a crappy Mercer team down late in the slate, and you still find a way to pick up too many losses. And on top of that, you lose your bowl game as well to, again, 5-loss Michigan team. So for me, this is just like, I don't know if next year, do you think that bias starts to actually go away when we're talking about SEC football, or do you think we're going to head right back into it? We're going to be talking about Bama, Georgia, and all these other teams.
Yeah, I think it will definitely rev its head, but especially for like an Alabama, like they're going to have to prove it and kind of show up on paper. You can't get the favorite child treatment anymore. Nick's not there to cover you. And some of these other schools, Ole Miss, you just lost, some of the games that you shouldn't have. I think Ole Miss was, a good team and everything like that, but it doesn't help when you don't win the games that you're supposed to. So I think Georgia will definitely get it. I think Texas will probably get it. We'll see about what Texas' schedule is next year before they get, the Georgia treatment of playing some of these high-profile games on the road or whatnot. But I don't think it will just disappear. But I don't think it will be, singing from the heavens as much because of their showing of how much they didn't take care of business or they didn't show up to the games that they were supposed to.
Yeah, I think it's certainly going to be with some teams. Like Alabama, they're not going to be top 10 preseason. Like, there's just no way in hell. I don't see a way in hell they could do it. Like, you can go off the numbers and all that, but we'll also see, probably some more players at a certain point in time go ahead and dip out of that program. Alabama's going to have some serious head searching to do, figure out, what's the buy-in of the guys here? How much does this brand really still hold now that it's me, not Saban? That's a lot of soul searching do down there in Alabama. If you're Georgia, you're going to get that nod. Texas, you're going to get that nod. But I think you're kind of at a point with the SEC where it's more so of now when Georgia goes to play Alabama, yes, it's a good win. It just won't be that win that absolutely guarantees you it's like, yes, this is the number 1 team in the country. It'll kind of, those games will be big games all still nonetheless, but it'll be a big game like those Big Ten games are big games.
It'll be your A&M. It'll be your Ole Miss. Even
South Carolina, maybe. Honestly, they may be on the uptick.
Even with Mizzou, is coming back and is reloading or whatnot at the quarterback position or whatnot. They're not, they've won 10 games the last past 2 seasons and have become bowl game champs in the Cotton Bowl, and I think I can't remember the bowl that they played in again this year. It was just on today. I think the Foster Music City Bowl. So I mean, if the SEC turns up on all levels and everybody's doing well, I think you'll have that bias. But if it's another year of kind of what it was this year, I think people are kind of quiet down until they kind of get to the second or third rounds of the playoffs.
Yeah, well, it'll be fun to find out what next year, how those rankings go. Yeah, because again, it's not like really supposed to matter up until a certain point or a certain week. But they do kind of base it off those weeks prior anyways. So it's just kind of a weird system all in itself. All right. With that being said, we'll throw it to break here on the second segment. I want to dive into tomorrow's games. We talked about the Boise State, Penn State game. It sounds like a little bit of a sloppy turnover game right now. Penn State leading it though. Let's talk about the rest of the games tomorrow to decide who makes it to the college football playoff semifinals. With that being said, we'll throw it to break. Don't go anywhere. 2 more segments left on the Dylan Punt Hour.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. And Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Outside is where winter adventure unfolds. On frozen lakes, icy landscapes, and snow-covered slopes. Feeling the cold air rush by as you race downhill. The freedom of gliding with ease and the warmth of being together. From epic sled rides to the fun of ice fishing, it's all right here beneath Nebraska skies. Start your winter adventure at yournebraskaparks.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Associations and this station.
Hey there, fellas. It's your girl, Jordan, with Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Let's talk commitment. And what better way to do that than with some shiny, sparkly jewelry? Am I right? Now, I'm not suggesting you have to rush, but if you're considering making a significant move, do your planning. We offer financing and payment plans. Lock down your selection with confidence. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
League One Volleyball is bringing the action to Omaha with Omaha's first serve on January 24th at 7 p.m. Central Time at the Liberty First Credit Union Arena. Witness history in the making as Love Omaha Volleyball takes on Love Madison in the team's inaugural home match. Be there to watch Olympic teammates Jordan Larson and Lauren Carlini go head-to-head in a battle of the world's best. Visit lovboma.com for tickets starting at $31. Volleyball is the next major league.
Welcome to Mind Your Mind, inspiring pathways to mental wellness. As a child, I loved geometry, especially circles. A circle is defined as all points in a plane at an equal distance from the center. This reminds me of boundaries. The radius, the fixed distance from the center, symbolizes the limits around our core values or personal space. Just as the radius is consistent, our boundaries should be clear and consistent. Setting boundaries protects our physical and emotional health. A boundary can be a physical limit or a rule about how others can treat us. Setting boundaries shows self-love and lets others know what is and isn't acceptable. Today, I encourage you to set and stick to your boundaries because you are important. I am Ayanna Blake, reminding you to mind your mind. For more inspiration, connect with me on social media or my website, ayannablake.com. Until next time, take care of your mind and keep moving forward on your pathway to wellness.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and the holiday sales event is now underway with unbelievably low interest rates and huge discounts on both our new and pre-owned inventory. Right now, we're offering 0% interest rates or $13,000 off select new models. These are the absolute biggest discounts of the year. You heard right, 0% interest rates or $13,000 off select new models. So please stop on in or check us out online at cobblecars.com. All deals with approved credit must trade in Costco.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
Looking for a financial partner that truly makes a difference? Modern Woodmen is a member-owned fraternal financial services organization. We can help you plan for all stages of life, from protection to saving to retirement. We also offer member benefits, social activities, and volunteer opportunities to help your family and community.
I'm Sean Erickson, your Modern Woodman representative in Lincoln. Call me at 402-483-6515 to start the conversation.
Modern Woodmen of America, touching lives, securing futures.
Start your New Year's Eve celebrations with the Lincoln Stars when they host the Omaha Lancers on Tuesday, December 31st at the Icebox. The puck drops at 6:05 for our first home rivalry matchup of the season, giving you plenty of time to cheer on the Stars before ringing in the new year. You can purchase single game tickets or a rivalry package to secure seats for 3 home matchups with Omaha now at LincolnStars.com.
Salt Mine City is now open at 8th and R in the Haymarket. Come check out Lincoln's newest brewery with 12 beers on tap, including the popular Single Axle Light American Lager, Brick Street Amber Wheat, and so many more. There's daily drink specials like $1 off Moscow Mules on Tuesdays, $6 IPAs on Fridays, and $6 Bloody Marys on Saturdays. Stop by Tuesday through Thursday from 4 to 9 p.m., Fridays 4 to 11 p.m., Saturdays 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Sundays from noon to 8 p.m. It's Salt Mine City, Lincoln's newest brewery at 8th and R.
I used to smoke. I thought of cigarettes as my best friend.
They were always there for me when I needed a break.
I also thought cigarettes were my best friend, and then they gave me peripheral artery disease.
I smoked and had a stroke. Actually, multiple strokes.
I smoked and have heart disease.
Here's my tip. If cigarettes are your friend, you need a better friend.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program. Here is your host, DeMornay Pierson-El.
All right, welcome back in. Second segment here on the Don't Punt Hour with the host, as always, DeMornay Pierson-El on the Allo VIP line. You guys can join in through the Starter Heyman text line, and we're going to talk some more college football here. Tomorrow starts really the second major day of the college football playoffs with the semifinals, deciding who's going to get into the semifinals, I should say. You got 3 games tomorrow. Obviously, you still got the 1 game going on tonight, the Fiesta Bowl, Penn State versus Boise State. Penn State leading that one. But tomorrow, you do get to start the day off at 12, Texas versus Arizona State. Then at 4 o'clock, Ohio State and Oregon. And the nightcap, Notre Dame and Georgia, which that game, that one actually might be the most intriguing, but we'll get to that. DeMornay Pierson-El, let's start with Texas and Arizona State. Who do you got in this one and why?
I hate that I even have to say this, Texas, but I think this is the biggest game for an upset alert.
Really?
I think so.
Well, are you saying that because Ohio State and Oregon doesn't really count as an upset?
No, I mean we've seen them before, and that's not really like they're both really, really good teams. Like the Texas ASU is a true underdog team. If ASU didn't win a conference championship, they would have been in the first round, and we would have really seen them have to go up against somebody. But because you are the 4th seed, you're still considered the underdog because you're going against Texas.
Fair enough. Would you call Notre Dame an upset if they beat Georgia?
Yeah, I would call that an upset. Yeah.
Okay. So between the two, I'd agree with you.
I still think that one might have like an asterisk on it because it's like their starting quarterback is not there. So if it does go wrong, it's like you're giving them an easy cop to not getting something done. And if ASU does it flat out against a top ranked, strong, fully healthy Texas, like that has a lot more headway behind it than a hurt Georgia team. That's how they're going to frame it.
True. The Georgia QB situated with Beck, yeah, that's going to put an asterisk on it. I will say this Texas-Arizona State game, though, also has really interesting quarterback. We kind of talked about it a little bit yesterday, but you got Sam Leavitt, who Nebraska was interested in at the time, pull him out of the portal from Michigan State. Really out of Michigan State was the guy that everybody wanted. And when you're looking at Michigan State's quarterback room as the only guy that showed flashes, he's been awesome down there at Arizona State. On the flip side of it, Texas, Quinn Ewers has been good. Like, it's not like he's had a bad season, but every time they plug in Arch Manning, he's phenomenal. He can run it. He can throw it on a rope. What are you seeing in the QB battle on this one? Like, Quinn Ewers is going to start. It's going to be Quinn Ewers versus Sam Levitt. But what do you see?
I think if the offense stumbles or is not as progressive or doesn't look how things to be, I think that's where you'll see Archie come in and kind of, I said Arch, sorry. That's where you'll see him come in to give a different spark. They want the new shiny thing in there, but it's just Quinn hasn't done enough to give up the job or to lose the job. So, but in these types of situations, I mean, we've seen, Alabama make that change and everything like that. I certainly think, Shark is capable of pulling those type of situations. And, he's been in those type of heavy games when being up. He was the offensive coordinator of the Falcons when they lost to Tom Brady, the 28-3 game. So he has that feeling. He knows what it looks like, how things might go, and he might have a little bit of deja vu. And if it anything close to like it's not looking right or it's not feeling right, he can pull the trigger and let Arch take over and do his thing.
Yeah, and Manning's had some reps too, so it's not like he's going to be completely new to the field. I do wonder what that looks like though, if it's because I don't see a world where Arizona State's just running away with it. Like if they win this game, it's going to be close. I would imagine, unless it's just absolute chaos and maybe one of those heavy turnover games from Texas. So like I don't know if we will see him at all this year, because to me it almost have to be like Arizona State is now up by 3 scores, or 2 scores. We need to do something. Then I could see maybe Texas will be like, all right, Quinn Ewers, you're good enough. Don't worry about it. Someone will pick you up. But we're going to go ahead and play Manning. That's the only way I can see Arch Manning getting out there. But otherwise, to your point, like especially if you do it preemptively, like if you're only down by like 1 score and you make that move and then he goes in there and then he has the turnover, you just threw the entire team into chaos and you just ripped the confidence out of yours.
I don't think it'll be a one type of mistake and you're done. I think it has to be, a series of mistakes, a series of 3 and outs, a series of the ball, the offense stalling or whatnot. So, if you get to like 3 offensive series and nothing's rolling and, the offensive is just dry and not doing anything and, ASU is moving the ball and exciting and has a lot of energy, I think you'll see him, pulling. I don't think it'll be off of a one and done. I think he would at least have to get, something 3 times before he actually makes a decision to do something.
Yeah, and especially with the circumstances being what they are, like it'd have to be kind of what Alabama and Milroe. Like it's like, all right, like we just got to pull the plug on it. Like it's not working. Like we saw enough, you saw enough. I'm sure you're ready to be done too. All right, moving on. Well, before we move on, do you want to call the upset here? I'm picking Texas. I'd love to see it. It hurts to say Texas, but
I'll do it. I'll go ASU. I'll do it.
All right, I like it. Sun Devils, Sam Levitt, upset the Texas Longhorns. That's what I want to read for the headline the next day. Moving on, though, the next big one, Ohio State, Oregon. This one is the most 50-50 to me. I don't know.
I got Ohio State. I think Ohio State has been, licking their chops, especially with the momentum of facing the SEC team and doing what they did and whatnot. I think this is a game like they couldn't, wait to, get to. This is one of them games where it could silence, a lot of people, a lot of naysayers, even with, their past losses of this year.
Yeah, and Ohio State's been hot to end the year. That's if I'm Oregon, I'm sweating a little bit. You just saw them completely obliterate Tennessee, and I actually thought that was a good Tennessee team. I know everyone's gonna sit here and say they suck, but they were good. I think Ohio State they figured something out. I don't know what it is, but Tennessee was not a horrible team. Ohio State, to me, has legitimately figured something out. And the more I talk about it, I'm convincing myself that this isn't so much as a 50-50, maybe more like a 60-40. And I'm going to go with you, Ohio State. What do you think happened with Ohio State? Like, what if you have to take a wild swing at it? Like, what has been the change that this team, particularly on offense, has figured it out?
Chip Kelly has. I mean, and he people say what they can about him and everything like that, but I think they figured out what they want to do on the offensive side. You got to get, I don't know the running back's name. I just know I think he wears number 1. You got to get him involved in the passing game a little bit more and off tackle. And then your other starting running back, I think it's 32 or 23. I can't remember. You got to get him rolling downhill, and then with an aerial attack of the tight end and your 2 top receivers. You got to give them some targets early and often. You can't just have 2 shots, or 1 shot apiece for those type of guys, and then let them finish and go on like that. You got to get the ball in those guys' hands early. He's getting the ball in their playmakers' hands in space and allowing them to show why they were a 5-star recruit and be able to attend the University of Ohio State.
Yeah, it's a good synopsis. It's like, you remember the last year? Yeah, the last year's Buffalo Bills and their run game was just atrocious. Wasn't until they got a new OC, actually, that they were able to fix it. Then all of a sudden, you saw that Bills offense actually take off, get rid of the red zone woes, and just be more consistent on that side of the ball. They always had the answer in the passing game with Josh Allen, but they found a way to finally unlock the run game. And when Nebraska played Ohio State, you saw the same thing. Like, their points, they're getting them over the top of the defense. They were not able to run the ball at all against Nebraska. And understand, that's the strength of Nebraska. But if you're Ohio State, you have to have some success there to help out Will Howard. And to me, that's been the remedy of their success, is they've found a way to really utilize the run game and make that play action all that more lethal. So I'm going to go ahead and roll with Ohio State as well. Also, I wonder what it looks like for a team like Oregon, Georgia, all the teams with buys, Boise State that we're seeing today, to sit out for that long and not play a game. It almost feels like might be a disadvantage, because Ohio State has kind of figured themselves. They fixed themselves while Oregon has been hanging out, trying to maintain. Ohio State's been fixing everything they need to fix.
For some teams, it could be a disadvantage. For other teams, it could be an advantage. Look at Georgia. Georgia in their own situation with the quarterback, them having more practice and to understand, what he likes, getting him more comfortable, building his confidence and everything like that. So it's definitely a situational type thing. Everybody's hurt. Everybody's sore. Everybody's hurt. We're going through the season. So regardless of not playing or playing, I think the fact that you can rest your team is good. Now, how much work you're getting, how much work you're putting on your team in those situations to have them ready for the game. Now, that will be the challenge, to make sure that, you're not doing too much to where you burn them out, but to, you're doing just enough to get them ready to play, to where, you won't start slow for a quarter or for a half, or you don't seem like, you're having an off game. But in Oregon's instance, I think Dan Landon is probably, one of the best motivators in the country. So I would be shocked, if Oregon comes out of there and they're not, prepared, if they don't have their juices flowing. So I'm not even worried about that aspect when it comes to that team, because Dan Landon, like I said, he's one of the best motivators in the country at the collegiate level.
Yeah, that's a really good point. He's also one of the most prepared coaches I've seen. Like, we saw that crazy scenario last time they played Ohio State. To have a scenario where you can get the 12-man on the field penalty and it'll actually be a benefit for it. Like, that is such a insane preparation to make that I don't think anybody's probably ever done before. So he is a guy, I will say that Oregon probably isn't losing anything by sitting out. They're actually just getting healthy because of that head coach. So I think that probably is a good way to put it. It's all situational. Georgia, it's a good thing. Ohio State, it's actually a good thing you did play in the first round, I think, to kind of really get that confidence back and to beat a good Tennessee team like that. For Oregon, it's good to sit out because you're good enough. The coaching preparation should be good enough to where, like I said, you're just going to get healthy. And then for Arizona State and Boise State, you're just happy you got the bye to avoid having to play one of those opening games. But that being said, we'll go ahead. We'll get this food for thought here off of text here. So we got Pluto chiming in. Ryan Day will prove fans right and blow this momentum. They look out of sorts and lose by 20. Is Ryan Day in any sort of hot water if they do get blown out by Oregon?
I mean, I wouldn't say hot water, but I mean, it could be a jacuzzi. It could start to get real warm.
With Chip Kelly controlling the dial?
It could be boiling. But I mean, the guy didn't win necessarily the Big Ten. He got you out of the first round against the SEC team. I understand he's lost to Michigan. So I mean, to their standards, maybe he might be. People might be mad and upset. But again, how many time and time again do we see people fire a good coach? And I mean, Nebraska and Bo Pelini was fired 10 years ago. In December.
Mm-hmm.
Out of that, they've had 2 winning seasons, and this season counts, or a season with Riley, they got to 6 games. So in 10 years, you had 2 winning seasons. Look at Wisconsin, what they're going through and everything like that. So I'm not so sure, or to be, so quick to fire, to fire him. You'll let him stick around with Chip Kelly and kind of see how they rebuild things. Because I mean, they look like a completely different team from early in the season, mid season to late in the season. So I mean, they look a lot better than they're playing their best football now, and that's what that's all that matters.
That's kind of where
so
I'm at.
I wouldn't say he needs to be gone if they lose.
No, he definitely doesn't need to be gone. My thing is, what will the reaction? Ohio State fans are kind of
they're Ohio State fans are just like some of these other fan bases. When you're up, they love you. When you're down, they hate you.
Yeah, they feel a little bit entitled, kind of with their success, and it feels like I need to run over there if they do make that move and being like, I've seen the past. Like don't do what Nebraska did and get too greedy and think 9-10 wins isn't good enough, because it might be a decade before you even get close to that. And it's been a decade and we still haven't even gotten close to 9 wins. So even though we got a winning season finally, we still haven't even, it's been 10 years we haven't hit the mark of Bo Pelini. 10 years. So, if they were really thinking about that up at Ohio State, I'd tell them that.
You had one 9-game season in 16, and that's been it.
Yeah. And that was a 7-win team because of Bo Pelini. Like that was still his development and his roster for the most part.
For sure.
It's not like that was the new coaching philosophy got us to 7. No, it actually lost us 2 games, but it was still good enough because it was Bo's team that they were able to get you 7. And as time went on, we just lost all of that. That being said, shout out Bo Pelini. He found his way in here on the New Year's Eve segment, reminiscing on Bo Pelini as we're talking about Ryan Day and Ohio State. What happens if they lose to Oregon? I don't think anything will happen. You'll probably just get Ohio State fans being upset, maybe saying something outrageous, but he's not going to be going anywhere, at least not this upcoming season. We'll throw it to break. On the last side, we still got to talk about Notre Dame, Georgia, the last game on tomorrow's college football playoff slate. Don't go anywhere. Dump Punt Hour, Good Morning Pierson-El on the Allo VIP line. We'll talk to you in a little bit.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4497 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and the holiday sales event is now underway with unbelievably low interest rates and huge discounts on both our new and pre-owned inventory. Right now, we're offering 0% interest rates or $13,000 off select new models. These are the absolute biggest discounts of the year. You heard right, 0% interest rates or $13,000 off select new models. So please stop on in or check us out online at cobblecars.com. All deals with approved credit, must trade, and Costco.
Start your New Year's Eve celebrations with the Lincoln Stars when they host the Omaha Lancers on Tuesday, December 31st at the Icebox. The puck drops at 6:05 for our first home rivalry matchup of the season, giving you plenty of time to cheer on the Stars before ringing in the new year. You can purchase single game tickets or a rivalry package to secure seats for 3 home matchups with Omaha now at LincolnStars.com.
Hey there, fellas. It's your girl, Jordan, with Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Let's talk commitment. And what better way to do that than with some shiny, sparkly jewelry? Am I right? Now, I'm not suggesting you have to rush, but if you're considering making a significant move, do your planning. We offer financing and payment plans. Lock down your selection with confidence. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see decreasing clouds throughout the day, but it will be breezy. We'll see a high around 32. Tonight, a chance of 4 rays, otherwise partly cloudy with light winds, a low near 22. And tomorrow, we'll see mainly sunny skies with light winds and a high around 36. I'm meteorologist Kyle Flecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Salt Mine City is now open at 8th and R in the Haymarket. Come check out Lincoln's newest brewery with 12 beers on tap, including the popular Single Axle Light American Lager, Brick Street Amber Wheat, and so many more. There's daily drink specials like $1 off Moscow Mules on Tuesdays, $6 IPAs on Fridays, and $6 Bloody Marys on Saturdays. Stop by Tuesday through Thursday from 4 to 9 p.m., Fridays 4 to 11 p.m., Saturdays 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Sundays from noon to 8 p.m. It's Salt Mine City, Lincoln's newest brewery at 8th and R.
Outside is where winter adventure unfolds. On frozen lakes, icy landscapes, and snow-covered slopes, feeling the cold air rush by as you race downhill. The freedom of gliding with ease and the warmth of being together. From epic sled rides to the fun of ice fishing, it's all right here beneath Nebraska skies. Start your winter adventure at yournebraskaparks.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Associations and this station.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Every home is different. Every family is different. So when it comes to a new heating and cooling system, why not get what fits you best? Get the perfect fit with Bryant. Maybe you need higher efficiency, better humidity control, increased warranty, or all the bells and whistles. Bryant provides options in warranty, brand, comfort, and efficiency while maximizing savings. Call 467-1111 or visit BryantLincoln.com. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
This just in, hot off the bench press. Planet Fitness has added new strength equipment. Save $28 or more when you join today, and you can be one of the first to try it out. We're raising the bar with new benches, and our new hack squat will have you actually looking forward to leg day. Plus, we're still repping all of the best-in-class equipment we've always had, with most clubs open 24 hours, so you can work out your way on your time. So let's do this. Join Planet Fitness today and save $28 or more. Just $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends January 10th. See Home Club for details.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road.
This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program. Here is your host, DeMornay Pierson-El.
All right, final segment here as we wrap things up at the Ticket Studios for New Year's Eve. So everybody can go out, celebrate, enjoy the night, and be safe, like I said. All right, wrap things up here. Like I said, we still got the morning Pierson-El on the Allo VIP line. We're talking last game on the college football playoff slate tomorrow, Georgia and Notre Dame. Who do you got?
I got Georgia.
Close?
No, I don't think it'll be close. I think when the big dogs show up, I think the little dogs will go back on the porch. And I think Notre Dame does not want any problems or any issues with Georgia. I don't care if Georgia's quarterback is down or whatnot. I think they will, submit and on to the next one.
I'm good with that. I don't know what it is about Notre Dame. I do not like Notre Dame at all. I don't know what it is.
In big games, they just disappear.
Maybe that's what it is. It's just disappointing.
Who have they really played? Like, and I'm talking pre-playoffs. I'm not talking like Indiana in the playoffs. Like
A&M, Navy, Army.
You could say
Louisville.
A&M, but A&M, a first-year head coach there, they really didn't know what they had or really figure it out. Towards the end, A&M became, a better team. But
not really. They lost to USC to end the year.
Huh?
They lost to USC to end the year. A&M wasn't even that good. They got a little bit of that SEC bias that we kind of talked about at the beginning. I never thought they were good, but not like a consistently ranked top 15
You never
team.
knew which A&M you were going to get when you showed up.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm with you. I don't think Notre Dame's going to be able, even if the quarterback situation is a little wonky with Georgia, I think it ends for them.
He's still a 4-star quarterback. Like he's not a terrible quarterback. Now, just because you have, a high draft pick playing in front of you and everything like that he just wasn't given a fair shake of things or whatnot. You didn't gave them almost, a month to figure out what he likes to do, what are his strengths and everything like that. You have an offensive coordinator and weapons around him to make the game easier for him. I don't think you'll see the version of what you've seen their last game in the SEC championship. I don't think you'll see that.
Fair point. I'm with you. All right, final thing. We'll get out of here. Good morning, Pierson-El. Give me your favorite sports memory of the year of 2024.
Ooh, favorite sports memory?
Mm-hmm.
That one's tough.
Yeah, there's actually a lot of good. It's actually been a good year for the Huskers, despite some of the more negative things. Like there's a lot of things to be happy about.
I would say like the fact that we won a bowl game, like that was big. And that's just, on personal. Outside of that, I would really have to look at things. LeBron broke that record. That was huge. I mean, him breaking Kareem, that's not anything little. What else?
I'm trying to think. Nebraska baseball winning the Big Ten was incredible. I think that might be up there because, man, go ahead.
You got Lamar breaking Michael Vick's, record. Michael Vick's one of my favorite athletes of all time. So, like, that's a pretty big deal. The USA teams, they both took gold.
That's a good one. Yeah, Team USA.
You can't, not, it's winning a gold medal. You can't not have that up there. Not every sport is an Olympic sport. And for us to be dominant in men and female with that, I mean, I think that's up there for taking the cake. It's a few. You getting me rolling now.
I was gonna say I was thinking about it too. I totally forgot. Team USA, one of the few times I was really rooting for LeBron like that. Like it was phenomenal to watch him, and I actually thoroughly enjoyed it. But that's gonna wrap it up for us. Happy New Year's Eve to everybody out there. Enjoy the night. Be safe. Good morning, Pierson-El. Appreciate the time as always, and I'll see you next year.
Hey there, fellas. It's your girl, Jordan, with Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Let's talk commitment. And what better way to do that than with some shiny, sparkly jewelry?